I'm Dave, so I'm the Nick and I are the marketing show for the Atlassian Marketplace, and so today I'm here to talk to you guys about selling paid add-ons on the Marketplace. And so if it's all right with you, I'd like to change the title of my talk from what was pre-printed on the agenda. Selling in the Marketplace, it's not as easy as sell, sell, sell. Having a great marketing strategy, whether you have a paid add-on on the Marketplace or you're considering building a paid add-on for the Marketplace or have paid add-ons that you're considering putting on the Marketplace or just want to encourage adoption of your plugin, among a custom plugin among your company, it's not beyond the ability of anybody here, just like great design isn't beyond the ability of anybody here. So I'm going to cover the kind of concrete steps that you can take and small details that you should pay attention to in order to find the most success on the Marketplace or wherever you're trying to sell your plugin. So a little bit more about me. This is me. I've worked in product marketing at Atlassian for about 6 months in total, and I joined the Marketplace team a couple months ago to do one thing, which is help you guys. You want to sell your add-on, and I want to help you. So I measure my success by how many of your add-ons that you sell and we sell. So I'm looking at the weekly sales totals and evaluation numbers and thinking about ways that you can improve your product messaging or your up your conversion rate. So I basically improve your customers' experience so that you bring in more customers. So I'm really here for you. And there's a couple of ways that I do this. We have a weekly blog series that features different add-ons in the Marketplace. I'm proud to announce that starting next week, we're going to start promoting the Marketplace with a Marketplace email newsletter. It's going to be sent to all active Atlassian customers, and we're hoping that delivering an email full of visual links to all your different add-ons in the Marketplace is going to get more Atlassian customers exploring the Marketplace, checking out your add-ons, starting evaluations, and bring in more customers and more revenue for you guys. We tweet. We do case studies. We published 2 case studies in the last week on Valiantis and Zephyr. If you're interested in knowing what joining with the Marketplace is like and checking out what potential benefits you might receive from joining the Marketplace, I highly encourage you to get on our blogs and check out those case studies. We released a press release yesterday talking about the progress that we've made in the Marketplace over the last couple months, and so we're really excited about. I want you to know that I am here for you, but I do have a problem. This is you guys. Actually, there's a lot of you. This is you guys, and when I made this slide, I realized I felt like the blue and silver meeples were kind of Mac OS X design themed, and there are a lot of Windows and Linux people here, so there you go. That's you guys. But the issue is that this is me. And not that I still have my graduation cap on. I'm probably the youngest person here, so that's why. And I really want to have a personal relationship with all of you. And I've emailed like half of you, and I've gotten to meet a ton of you yesterday and last night and today, and I'm hoping to meet the rest of you tonight and tomorrow. And I want to be here for you guys. Nick and I, we're putting ourselves out there as available for you. So there's never been a better time to pick our brain or get some feedback or get on our calendar. And I want to work with all of you and know your products, but I don't want to end up like this. So this talk is all about one thing, which is help me help you. But seriously, this talk is going to go over the information and the tools and suggestions that I think can apply to everyone in this room. At Atlassian, we like to think of marketing as a tool. It's a tool for you to get the most return for the time investment that you make in developing your add-on. So I know that sales and marketing, it takes time away from development. So this talk is all about the things that you can do to make sure that you get the most reward for that investment that you make in sales and marketing. So quick overview. I'm going to start with data. Not a lot, just some numbers that you should keep in mind as you kind of approach marketing and selling your add-on. So it's not like your social security number that you need to memorize exactly. It's more like your spouse's phone number or something that you just should have in the back of your mind. Then I'm going to jump to 5 steps that you can take to achieve bestseller status. Getting a lot of sales, it's not magic, it's science. You have a great product, and if you have effective marketing, that's going to result in money in your pocket. You could spend all day building your product, or you could spend all day selling it, but neither of those is going to get you really far. So maximize your ROI on marketing by following these steps, and hopefully I'll have some time for some questions at the end. So just starting off with one big number. We have 111 total paid add-ons in the marketplace that are being transacted by Atlassian. And when we hit the number 100, pretty much everyone at Atlassian was really, really excited. So Jay Simons, Atlassian's president, suggested that we celebrate this milestone in true Atlassian fashion, which means getting a t-shirt. And the 100th add-on was particularly special because it was written by a guy named Bob Swift. And Bob is a bit of a legend in the Atlassian plugin development community. I'm pretty sure that he started writing plugins for Confluence when I was still in high school. And he didn't just write one plugin. He has 11 paid plugins in the marketplace. And I really liked John Michel's scrolling effect earlier, so I thought I'd do it with Bob's plugins too. So we want to officially present Bob with his 100 add-ons marketplace t-shirt. So I'm going to invite Nick to embarrass Bob really quick and get him.
All right, congratulations, Bob. Oh, thank you. Plugin, a SQL plugin for Confluence. Okay. Everybody races on for the 1,000th plugin, and we'll do 10 t-shirts.
I'm on my way.
Better. All right, well done.
Great job.
Rich took that. All right, now some real numbers that hopefully can help you guys out. So this is a breakdown of sales channels that add-on purchases come through in the marketplace, or add-on purchases come through in terms of total units sold. So as you can see, 3/4 of all add-on purchases come through either the marketplace or the UPM, meaning that this is where you should be concentrating the majority of your marketing efforts. This means you should really focus your marketing strategy on that marketplace profile, so that means your banner, your screenshots, and so on, your product overview. So this is the information that customers are looking at when they're making that evaluation or purchasing decision. And if you look at gross sales instead of units, it becomes even more pronounced. Especially that marketplace profile takes an even greater share. And what that tells us is that the customers that are really spending large amounts of money, like those enterprise deployments in the 500, 2,000, 10,000 user tiers, they really appreciate the extra information that you include in the marketplace, your links to your support and your documentation and your version histories and compatibility updates. So if you want to target large enterprise customers, you really need to have a well-maintained marketplace profile. Some other helpful stats. Jira version distribution. I'm trying to give you an idea of where our customer base lies so you can know where to target your development and support efforts. So this is for all Jira customers that have a marketplace-enabled UPM, which is about 75% of our entire install base. And you can see that the vast majority are either running Jira 5 or Jira 5.1. When you switch to Confluence, it's a little bit more distributed, but you still notice that the vast, vast majority of Confluence customers are at least running Confluence 4 or higher. And I also want to point out that Confluence 4.3 still already has a significant share of the customer base, which so that really underscores the point that you need to be looking at your add-on compatibility and checking frequently to make sure that your add-on is compatible with the most recent releases of Atlassian parent products. All right, so I was going to do another audience participation thing where I ask you how many add-ons which products you're creating add-ons for, but I feel like you've had to raise your hands enough times. So imagine that you were asked all of these things, and then so this is the amount of a distribution of add-ons sold by product. So about 2/3 of all the add-ons sold in the marketplace, this isn't for sale, this is actually sold by parent product. But there are dozens of Atlassians in the room that would love to talk to you about developing plugins for Stash, Bamboo, Fisheye, Crucible, and more. And there are thousands of customers who are looking for the right plugin that's going to meet their needs and are willing to pay for it. And it's like everybody said earlier, Stash especially, it's really just it's a green field. So there are a lot of opportunities if you're looking to enter the marketplace or add another plugin to your portfolio. This is the distribution of Jira add-on sales as they break down by license tier. So you can see that the vast majority of actual sales for Jira add-ons are at the starter tier, and then it's weighted pretty heavily towards 25, 50, 100 users. And you don't see a whole lot of units at the larger enterprise level. When you switch to gross sales, it skews slightly differently. You can see that most of the money coming in for Jira add-ons is in that medium-sized tier, and you get a little bit more at the enterprise tiers. Confluence, it's a slightly different story. You still have a lot coming in starters, but it's more distributed, more spread out, and you have a lot of people buying add-ons at that 500 user tier. And then with gross sales, similar thing. You have most of the money for Confluence add-on sales is really coming at those larger enterprise level deployments. And it'll be interesting to see how these numbers change for Confluence as the Confluence pricing changes take effect. And we expect that, down the road as grandfather pricing runs out, that breaking up larger deployments into more licensed tiers, it's going to allow you guys to target larger deployments better and bring in more revenue for you. And finally, $450 is our weekly average sale price. That really hasn't changed in the last 2 months. So that just tells you that any given sale on the Atlassian marketplace is going to be about that much money. Now, 5 tips for selling your add-on without a sexy salesman like that guy or me. Since I'm the youngest person here, I feel like I'm definitely old enough to give you all advice on relationships. So I think you should think about your marketing and sales in terms of relationship with the customer. So first you need to make a great first impression. You want to show them that you want them to like you right off the bat. And then they need to know that you're available, that you're within their reach. And you need to welcome them in, show them what you have to offer. And you need to keep in touch. They've gone from checking out your add-on to evaluating it, and you need to seal that deal. And you also and finally, you want to show them that you're really invested in the relationship and that you're around for the long haul. So that means that you're going to be developing and supporting and building your plugin, fixing bugs for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, because that's the kind of security that a large enterprise customer needs in order to pull the trigger and spend a couple $1,000s on your add-on. So everyone knows that first impressions are everything. It's important to make a good first impression with your banner and screenshot. They're the largest visual element on your page, and the best banners and screenshots, they look professional. So you need to invest the time and the effort, just like you're doing in your plugin design, hopefully, in your banner and in your screenshot and in your marketing, because that's what shows that your plugin isn't a side project that that customers can't rely on. It's something real that you're committed to building and selling and supporting. So this is the profile page for Behave for Jira, which won Best Marketplace Paid Add-on in the Code Guys 2012 competition. So congrats to Alan and Jack who are here. I want to take you through some of the things that I think they do really well. So first, they have a great-looking professional banner. There's a nicely designed logo, good work, Jack, and nice screenshots, and a couple of small bullet points on the key features in the product. They include a video. Video is a great way to demonstrate your plugin dynamically. A lot of you are already using videos as part of your support or part of your marketing, so make sure that you have kind of an overview video. It's not that hard to do a screen recording with a simple narration, and especially for a plugin that mostly relies on kind of some initial configuration and then it alters the behavior of Jira or Confluence in some way, you definitely need a video to kind of show off the power of your plugin. And then finally, they have screenshots that clearly demonstrate the core features. We see a lot of really bad screenshots in the marketplace, so you want to have something that's going to actually show off your product and without explanation. The customer should be able to tell what your product does from the screenshots. Now looking at below your banner and your screenshots is your product overview. So Behave for Jira, they have concise feature descriptions. They focus on the features that they believe add the most value to their customers rather than trying to list every single detail about the product. And including a few sentences in a product overview above a feature list is a great way to It's your opportunity to be the marketer. So in plain English, you're describing what value you're adding for the customer and why it makes Jira or Confluence or one of our dev tools even better. And finally, behavior Jira's pricing is simple. I'm going to talk about pricing more in a second, but just notice that there's no eye-poppingly large numbers and that it kind of flows simply from tier to tier. And now what this page doesn't have. It doesn't have an excessively long feature list. You don't need to include every single thing you've ever developed for your product. You want to focus on the things that are going to add the most value and bring in the most customers. It doesn't matter whether it's a feature that you spiked in a day or spent 6 months ironing out every single possible bug. It doesn't matter if you ended your honeymoon early in order to develop. Don't end your honeymoon early in order to develop features. Stay away from usage instructions. That's better left for your documentation. There's a separate section on your profile for version histories. News is for your company website. The point I want to make is that you want to really focus that profile on the things that are going to bring in, that are going to be most attractive to a potential evaluator, and the features that are the biggest value add for your product, and keep everything else in a different location. And finally, their page does not have a pirate ninja unicorn. But if you look hard enough on the marketplace, you can find one. It's kind of like an Easter egg. And then finally, avoid bad design. And so beautiful design is professional design. And that means your banners, your screenshots. Sam just came up and talked about your plugin design. Everything needs to be beautiful. Invest time in as much as you wanted to invest all your time in your development, you need to invest time in design. You need to invest time in sales and marketing. And it's really going to make your development efforts pay off exponentially more. Pricing. So these figures are more or less the average price at each license tier for Jira add-ons in the marketplace. This is the top 15 sellers by units sold, so it's not weighted by overall sales. It's just at each tier which have sold the most. And so you see that Jira add-ons tend to follow that $10 for 10 users starter license price, and then increase it about $10 per user through like medium-sized deployments, and then you're looking at several $1,000s for larger enterprise scale deployments. And again, there's a whole range, but this is what the average median comes out to. And then same for Confluence, $10, 10 users. It increases at a little bit faster of a pace, but at the same time, general similar prices for larger enterprise scale deployments. General tips about pricing. There's no rule. The first rule is that there are no rules. There are only tips. Every add-on here is unique and should be priced uniquely and based on a wide variety of factors and feedbacks. So the most important thing you can do is listen to your customers. So if you have, if your add-on is $10 and you have a lot of customers saying your add-on is awesome, dude, I would pay $500 for this. That doesn't mean that you should immediately go and change your add-on to be $500, but it does mean that if you hear that a lot, then it might be a tip that you could raise prices and bring in more revenue for yourself. Conversely, if you have all these reviews on your plugin page that say, man, this plugin looks awesome, but I can't afford it at the current price, then that might be a tip that if you could broaden your customer base if you reduce your price somewhat. Another way to think about pricing is in the context of your parent product. So like imagine you're developing an add-on for Confluence. So you think about how much value Confluence offers to a potential customer, and then think about how much value relative to Confluence your plugin offers. So if you say, I think that my plugin makes Confluence 50% more valuable, then consider pricing your plugin at 50% of the price of Confluence. And benchmark with other add-ons that are in the marketplace. So compare yourself to other development teams or other companies, add-ons with similar features, people that you find yourself similar to, and look at how they're pricing your add-on and can take that into consideration. And then finally, iterate. And iterate doesn't mean changing your pricing every single month. It means that you're thinking about your feedback, that you're testing, and it might mean that every couple of months that you do consider tinkering with your prices somewhat to find what the optimal breakdown is for you by license tier. But it definitely does not mean that you change it all the time. Just take feedback into consideration, be testing, and then act on the results of those tests. So putting out a welcome mat, It's all about the initial evaluator experience. At this point, customers looked at all your marketing material and they've made a decision to try out your plugin. And you need to make sure that that evaluation experience, it goes fantastically, because that's how you convert evaluators into customers. So how do you achieve fantastic evaluation experiences? You get everyone on board using your product. You guys are all great developers writing great code. And if you have good enough marketing, then you'll get people using your product. So help evaluators start using that plugin. And the best way to do that is to have a getting started page. A getting started page does a number of things. First, it puts administrators, it helps administrators with installing. So imagine you're an administrator and you download an evaluation version, and you don't want to be left looking at that UPM after it finishes installing and saying, now what do I do? So that welcome page answers the now what question. And it reminds evaluators about the features that they looked at when they made the decision to start evaluating, and it helps orient new users and find the resources they need in their evaluation. So using Tempo as an example here of how to implement a getting started page. You've just finished installing the add-on, and if you look at Tempo and the UPM, there's that nice Get Started button, and they click on it, and they're immediately taken to Tempo's Getting Started page. So some things to note about Tempo's Getting Started page. It's in product, so there's no context switching. Context switch, depending on your product, that might be more important than others. For Tempo, which relies a lot on working within Jira and being really integrated into the Jira experience, you definitely want to have your Getting Started page within the product. It has a simple layout with directions for configuration. That's really important for the administrator that needs to set up the product to get the whole team using it as quickly as possible. It has a start section for new users that explains how to quickly use the product, and it really emphasizes getting the whole organization on board and using share to kind of increase the virality of the plugin within an organization. And one of the big things on our roadmap in the next month or so is going to be making this available to all of you that have a marketplace add-on, giving you a programmatic way to just fill in the information, and we'll do all the design for you to have a really beautiful getting started page available right out of the box for you. And the next part of the evaluator experience is sticking the landing. That's the next step in that process. And so if you take away one thing from my talk, as I've said before, the best way to convert an evaluator into a customer is to get the whole team on board. That's when the entire team becomes reliant on your plugin and is using it every single day in and out, that's when you know that they're going to buy. And there are a couple ways that we offer for you to do this. So you need to take advantage of post-install and post-upgrade hooks. You want to have great documentation and include contextual help. So the post-install and post-upgrade hooks, that's all about bridging that gap bridging the gap. So I'm going to use an example from Zen here. So you're downloading and installing Zen, and this is the experience that is most up to date. You've just installed your trial license, and so you're redirected to Mac in order to, you click free trial, and now you're redirected to Mac to start your free trial, and you give them your company name, and it generates a license for you. And then one click, apply that license right back into the product, you're redirected, and then it finishes applying the license, and you're prompted with a window with one button, which is to get started. And then they're immediately taking you to Zen's Getting Started page. And the same thing goes for if you're doing an upgrade experience, you want take current users to your latest release notes, bug fixes, the things they need to know if you want to drive up your renewal rate. And so Zen's Getting Started page takes me to documentation. You want to have great looking documentation. They do a great job having clear and visual pages in their documentation. So that means having separate sections for installation and configuration for administrators. Each of their sections allows the relevant user of the documentation to jump straight to the things that matter most to them, which is going to make them appreciate the effort that you've put into providing that. They use their own plugin in order to make it really beautiful with simple instructions, lots of helpful pictures. I want to use this other example from K15T. using just default Confluence in order to still provide a really great documentation experience for their products. Tempo does a great job with their evaluation support footer, which is in context within the product. It's on every single one of their plugin pages, and it has these links to support and documentation and their contact information and pricing. And plus, it's just a reminder that you're using that evaluation in a more subtle, well-designed way. So what it does is, if I'm having a really great experience as an evaluator using Tempo, and I am reminded every time I use it that I'm evaluating it, I'm going to be more reminded that I really should purchase it if I'm having this great experience. And finally, my last tip, make sure you're invested for the long haul. That means nurture your marketplace profile. And when you come up with a new version, make sure you add new screenshots. Redo your overview video from time to time. Iterate on your description and your text elements in the page. Think about which features are really the most important from version to version. And think about your pricing. Make sure you keep it up to date. That means checking for add-on compatibility with new versions of Jira or Confluence or the dev tools. And finally, respond to commenters, whether it's in your public issue tracker or on your wiki, or the marketplace offers you the ability as the vendor to respond to commenters that are on your marketplace profile. So you get a comment that says, you get a comment on your profile that says, wow, this product is really awesome when I evaluated it, except for this one bug which drove me crazy, and that's the reason I didn't buy. And you can go ahead and say, oh, but I fixed that bug. And then every potential customer was going to see, wow, this vendor is really responsive to the needs of their customers. And they're the kind of, if I come up with some kind of similar bug, they might fix it for me. And that's the kind of thing that enterprise customers really want to see if they're going to make a commitment to your product. So that's it. Feel free to tweet at me, email me, grab me at any time. Wasn't sure if I included enough jokes in my profile, so there's a link to my Bitbucket. And if none of my tips sound feasible, let me offer one last completely alternative marketing strategy: be Don Draper. Thank you.